Hello, UCAR. Peter Christensen here, coming to you from the CEO's desk. Continuing on with our contracts, quick hitters. So we're going to talk about freedom to contract. Now, this is a general concept in contract law, but basically how it's supposed to work is that we have the right to contract for many things. And the courts are not supposed to necessarily look at whether they think it was a good deal or not. So if I want to sell my 1968 Fender Stratocaster for $50 to a neighbor because it's only, it's got a few chips on it, and we sign and agree to it, and then I realize, well, that wasn't a very good deal. Well, in theory, the court's not supposed to come back and say, oh, yeah, that was way underpriced. That was a bad idea. We're going to undo that so you can go get a better deal. It's not really supposed to work like that, right? We're supposed to be able to contract how we want to. And so, there's questions whether the courts are stepping in more nowadays than they used to. But regardless, it's got to be it's got to be up to the parties to make sure the deal works for them. Don't count on the courts to come save you for making a bad deal. So we saw during the frenzy the past few years, buyers cutting out contingencies, cutting out inspection rights, doing all kinds of stuff to get their really high non-refundable deposits or earnest money. And at the end of the day, they're making the deal knowingly, right? And they have the capacity to make the deal. And so really it should be upheld, even if it was a dumb deal, a bad deal. It wasn't smart to get rid of those rights or do it this way or that. So be careful. Make sure whatever the market is, whether it's buyer-friendly, seller-friendly, whatever's next, that you're using good sense, and you, as you represent clients, are using good sense and making sure the deal really is tenable for your client and is one that will work for them and isn't going to hurt them in the long run. So that's kind of freedom of contract. There are cases. So if there's ever fraud, there's ever anything that could interfere with the formation of the contract, so bad information, misleading information, the court can step in and say there was fraud on the inducement of the contract. The final card the court holds is unconscionability. If it shocks the conscience of the court, I think I've talked about that before, it can shock the conscience of the court, and that's just, it's so ridiculous and so one-sided in a really bad way that it shocks the conscience of the court, and but that should be a rare exception. So make sure you are, as you represent clients or are buying or selling, that you're really looking at whether it's a good deal or not, getting good advice, and making sure before you sign it that it's what you want to get into, and don't count on a court bailing you out because you made a bad deal. Remember, this is not legal advice. This is legal information only. If you need specific legal advice, please contact your attorney. Thanks for tuning in.